Binyam Mohammed's detention in Guantanamo Bay got me interested in being organised with Amnesty, and through Amnesty's work and campaigning, managed to get him released finally, which was amazing.
I became involved in Amnesty because I strongly believe in human rights, and I think that Amnesty can really do a lot to change our world.
I started working here a couple of months ago. I studied the Shell campaign as part of my university.
We can make a difference.
I actually studied nothing to do with politics overtly, English literature. However, through my studies of literature, I began to take an interest in Nigerian literature and post-colonial writing in Nigeria. And within that, you can include Ken Saro-Wiwa's most famous novel, Sozaboy, which is about child soldiers in the Biafran War.
UCL, and I studied geography, and then I did a teaching degree at the Institute of Education.
I went to the University of Sussex and I studied sociology and African studies.
And I studied at Leeds University and I studied politics and parliamentary studies.
The tendency is for us to think that we're powerless kind of individuals, in a big world, and who are we? But as Kate was saying earlier, the idea that member-led organisations can't affect change is absolutely
a gradual thing. I mean, I've been doing some of the urgent actions and letter writing with Amnesty even pre-university. I think
involved in the anti-nuclear movement and the anti-apartheid movement when I was younger, and that was my first experience.
My first experience of activism was being involved in the anti-war movement when I was studying my A-levels, and then that kind of spiralled into other things. So when I went to university, got more involved in groups like Amnesty and the environmental campaigns that were being run.
It's quite exciting indeed. Okay, so about 65 of you are going to be allocated a bag, and in that bag is a clipboard and loads of petitions. Once we get to Hoxton
I've always felt that it was important to have a global awareness, really, and to be aware of human rights abuses in foreign countries, even if you're not that familiar with the political context in which those abuses are taking place. I think it's fairly clear that human rights abuses, wherever they are, need to be opposed, and in fact it's a good way to get into learning about global politics and international affairs by just paying attention to where brutal events are taking place, and then you can begin to question why and find out a bit.
Looking at what is the definition of an activist is anyone that is taking action to affect change, whether it's writing an email or whether it's going to talk to your MP or whether it's going to death row or, non-violent direct action, anything you do to try and affect change.
So it is all about the individuals, and that's what makes Amnesty work. So if you only do one thing a year, then there are probably a lot of people that are doing that one thing that year, and that is going to make a difference. So it might feel like you're doing it on your own, but you'll soon find there's a lot of other people doing it too.
We can make a difference.
Well, we're basically just running a campaign to shame Shell into retreating from the Niger Delta, where they've been committing some awful acts against the people, the indigenous people of the Niger Delta.
They do something called, they burn off all the excess fumes and stuff that they don't need from the oil, and it's quite a toxic gas that comes out, and it affects the pollution in the...
I think people really need to know about the kind of impact on the environment, and as a result of the impact on the environment Shell are causing in the Niger Delta area, and I think we've achieved that today.